Point number 7, and I'm going to say for a good measure, with all good due respect, if any is due. The point is, says who? Says who? So when they say, hey, they shouldn't submit to you, or they shouldn't admit that you're ideal, says who? First group, okay? Nerds, right? We look up nerds, it's a foolish and contemptible person. Says someone who's attached themselves to a group of people that are foolish and contemptible, okay? Are boringly studious, who've decided that life is about being boringly studious and foolish and contemptible, okay? Says who about what matters most in life? And are we talking about computers? Are we talking about engineering? Are we talking about, chemistry? No, we are talking about what you know nothing about, you fucking nerds. Okay, the LGBT community, with all due respect, okay, there's a spectrum of all these groups. We look up gay in the Urban Dictionary, it says pointless, okay? The point of life versus those people who have attached themselves without transcending, without saying, this is why I'm different. It's like being on a vampire pirate ship and attaching yourself to that and not proving that you're different, because now that you're attached to that, you're on probation. Prove that you're different. What makes you different than the rest of the LGBT people waving flags, wanting gender-neutral bathrooms? What makes you different than the corporate guy who's a little bit more educated than the other ones, who is not doing the right thing either, who's not emphasizing why gay marriage is wrong, okay? Why marriage is a divine institution? What makes you different? And the people who are ruining martial arts and religion, okay, and music with their gay energy, when gays are only like 2 to 5% of the population. What makes you different than the small group of greedy people that have inordinate influence over everything, but refuse to take any blame for what's going on? That is odd. That is pointless. And pointless is foolish and contemptible. That's why the LGBT people are so much like the nerds. They often are nerds, with all due respect. Trying to help these people, trying to help everyone out before I die and there's no moral path. The third point, the feminist, right? She's associated with the LGBT and the nerds. It's a long story why. I'm pretty sure you can come up with that on your own. Okay, there's a spectrum, mind you, spectrums and variations. Okay, they're complicit with the gender-neutral agenda. They've gone on board with women who hate men. Some are radical feminists who think they should start beating and killing men. They do all kinds of weird rituals, okay? These women didn't exactly come out and say, hey, this guy's right, no one else is telling the truth about rape, and join me. Why they pretend to care about rape with the Me Too movement. How can you shun, as this massive group of people in California, a feminist stronghold, the one guy telling the truth about rape and how things really work? How can you shun me? Okay? So says who? The people who throw the righteous under the bus with no viable counter-argument. I've been making videos for years. They've never come out and said, hey, I'm a feminist, this is why you're wrong, because they can't, because I'm right. Okay? The rich, next group. Okay? The top 1%, corporate greed, says the rich who are spending all kinds of money on stupid shit, $10,000 dinners and all kinds of dumb shit, while people starve, and they say, hey, they should have got a job, and bitch shit like that. Marrying gold-digging scum and pretending that their marriages are ideal and they're ideal, going to church and pretending they're blessed by God for leveraging their white privilege, their white denial, their white fragility. These other groups call them out, even though they're included in these groups. Says who? Says the white supremacist? Do I even have to explain anymore? You colonize the world? You abuse everyone? Says who? The people behind the scenes that support Israel? They're probably raping a Palestinian kid right now for throwing a rock at their tank while they plan to control them to a T and take their land. Says who? Complicit martial artists? People in churches that are allowed when your own Bible says Satan is the God of the world. So why has your church been allowed in this world for so long while people are carrying their crosses? Because you don't have the true gospel. Says who? There isn't a single person on this planet who's honorable enough to contradict me but me. So my question is to all of you people who are in cultures that are allowed because they're foolish, contemptible, and pointless, and they're bootlicking to the corporate greed scoundrels as controlled opposition and otherwise, says who? No one's even qualified to be taken seriously by the wise when they disagree with me on this core issue. Feel free to make your case, but no, you make your case as a fucking idiot. If you have a valid point, I will concede that point and will explain why I'm still right. But who the fuck says it? Some bootlicking government shill? Some hypergamous slut? Says who exactly?